In today's video, we're talking all about how to raise strong men to be strong fathers. Maybe you are a father, maybe you know a father. Today is all about how to be a great father as a strong man. Hey everybody, if you're new to the channel, my name is Andrew, and for almost 30 years I've had the pleasure of leading organisations, developing and releasing leaders, and mentoring and working closely with people and families of all ages. Thankfully and amazingly, I have noticed that the people I've worked with have experienced extraordinarily low rates of divorce, low rates of burnout, low rates of anxiety and mental health episodes, low rates of suicidal tendencies. All of that to say that what I want to offer you today can work and make a difference in your life. Let's get to today's episode now. We're talking all about how to be a strong father and what it takes to be a strong father. I've got 7 points for you that you can action, put to work in your life, and they will make a difference. Let's start with number one. The first thing that we want to see when we're raising strong fathers is men need to choose to be the circuit breaker in their family tree. I don't know about you, but if you've taken a moment or two in the past to assess the things that are in your family's history, the weak points, the struggles, maybe your family line has had bad alcoholism, maybe there's been violence in your family tree, maybe there's been problems with money, all kinds of issues that are struggles in your family history in generations prior to you. One of the most powerful things you can do as a father or as a father-to-be is to make the choice that you will be the circuit breaker in your family tree. How does it work, Andrew? Well, I'm glad you asked. The way it works is you actually get passionate on the inside about being the best father you can possibly be. If you're coaching someone who's becoming a father, help them to understand they've got to grow their passion to become the best father that they can be. And it can all start with the words in your self-talk that says, I want to be the circuit breaker. The stuff that has been in our family line that's been destructive and negative, it stops with me. And we don't do this because we want to try and compete with those who went before us or to shove something in their face or to throw shade, as they say. No, we're doing it because we want better results, better outcomes for our own children. And so you can make that choice. Even right now, as you're watching this video, you can make that simple choice and say, I'm going to be the circuit breaker in my family tree. Number two, when we're raising strong fathers, we want to encourage men to keep showing up. Sounds overly simple, I know, but it's so important and it's so powerful actually to make the choice again, I will keep showing up. I'm talking about showing up for work. I'm talking about showing up for conversations with your family, with your children. I'm talking about showing up for your kids' sport. Make that choice today that you will be the kind of man that keeps showing up. In other words, don't give up on doing the things that you know are good to do. It makes a huge difference. When we are the kind of men who keep showing up, our children notice. It makes a difference in their belief about themselves. It strengthens our bond that we have as fathers with them, and it really will set them on the right path for their future if you keep showing up. Number three, embrace the mundane. Now, this is probably one of the most boring tips I'm going to give you today, but it still matters. We need to embrace the reality that a good portion of our life, our daily routine, is actually fairly boring. It's mundane. It's doing the same tasks that we did yesterday that we're going to do again tomorrow. The routine is very similar, and the highlights, which are our enjoyable contrast, they don't come around that often. This is why we enjoy our holidays so much, because they're a powerful contrast from the normal routine. That doesn't change. It doesn't eliminate the fact that we still need to accept that mundanity or the mundaneness of life is a part of who we are and part of our journey. We need to embrace the mundane. Our children are watching. One of the things they are watching is as we engage with the mundane aspects of life, they will observe that that is where character and resilience are formed. And in case you hadn't noticed, this episode today is part of a mini-series we're doing on all of the aspects of raising strong men. One of the future episodes that's coming soon is raising men to be resilient. And so I'm going to talk all about that subject specifically in a future episode, but I want you to understand that in the context of mundaneness, this is where our character is developed, this is where resilience grows. Guys, I hope you're getting plenty out of our tips that we're talking about today on how to be a strong father and how to coach others who are fathers or fathers to be in the matters of what it takes to become a strong father, I want to share with you some of my own story. And I want you to understand that just because I'm blessed to have some great results and some things working in my own life today, as a father, I have two wonderful children who I adore and whose lives are going well. But I want you to understand that my journey and my life is far from perfect. I'm paddling in the same canoe as you, so to speak. I'm not perfect by any stretch, but I have learned a few things that I want to offer to you today that might help you. I'm not here to tell you what to do, but I am here to offer a few thoughts that you might be able to employ. And for me, I want you to understand that really the whole thing started for me with that first point that I made in today's episode. I also had to make the choice to be the circuit breaker in my family tree. You see, the relationship I had with my own father was far from perfect. Now, let me be clear, he was not an abusive man, he was not a violent man, he was a good provider, but because of his own background and his own brokenness, he was challenged in the arena of giving affection and using affectionate words to tell me the things that I needed to hear as a son. In one of our previous episodes, the last episode in fact, we talk about the power of raising strong sons. One of my points in that episode is the fact that dads need to keep on saying, I love you and I'm proud of you. Well, that wasn't my story, unfortunately. Unlike many of you watching today, my childhood was a story of not hearing the words I love you or the words I'm proud of you. Despite the fact that I'm sure my father did actually feel that way, he struggled to communicate it. And that came from his own history. I had a mentor in my life in recent years who helped me to understand that relationship and to recalibrate my expectations of my own dad. This mentor of mine shared with me, he said, Andrew, expecting your father to be everything that you hope he will be in these later years of his life is like asking a man with broken legs to go for a run with you. He just can't do it. And you know, when I heard that advice from my mentor, it set me free from some expectations that were debilitating for me, things that I had longed hope for, things that I wanted to have happen in my life that at the stage when I was still reflecting on it, and I'm talking in my early 40s, I knew and I had to realize those things were never going to happen. But what it did do for me was it catapulted me into a positive choice, a positive response, and that response was, I choose to be the circuit breaker in my own family tree on a few things that I didn't want my own children to go without. And so I made choices in my early fathering days. My kids will hear the words, I love you. My kids will hear the words, I'm proud of you. And I made sure that I invested in that language from the very earliest of their days to the point where they hear it on a daily basis, sometimes several times a day. They receive affectionate touch and hugs from myself and their mother. And it's done such a powerful thing in their lives. And so I want to encourage you that even if your journey hasn't been perfect, maybe you're a young father who's still reflecting on your own dad. Maybe you're an old man who's thinking about all of the long history of your life you've got and you're trying to put the pieces in their place. I want to urge you that none of us have got the power to change the past, but we can do something about our future. And one of the things you can do is do what I did. Be the circuit breaker in your family tree. Make a difference for the ones who come next so that they don't have to repeat the process and start back at the same start line that we started from. Number 4 is this point, get connected. One of the things that we see prevailing most when men are struggling, when fathers are struggling, is they're doing so in isolation. They feel alone, they live alone in their thoughts and their emotions. In the workplace, they might feel alone, and then they come home to their own household and still feel alone. You need to break that barrier and choose to get connected. And specifically on this point, I'm talking about getting connected with other men who are on the same journey as you, trying to become strong, maybe in the same age and stage of life as you, maybe young fathers. If you're a young dad, connect with some other young dads. Maybe connect up a little as well with a father who's been on the journey for a little while longer. Maybe connect with a man who's in the grandfathering stage of his life. The main point is get connected with some other men so that you can learn, you can share struggle, you can share strength, and you can get the realization, actually, you're not alone in this journey of trying to become a great dad. Number 5, we need to reconnect with our goals and dreams. We want to be men who are all about having forward momentum and progress and purpose in our lives. One of the ways that I like to phrase it is this: you need to know your why. Why do you get out of bed in the morning? Now, I know you've got to go to work and you've got to pay bills and you've got to do your routine, and that is true. And nobody can discount that. But you need something deeper. You need something more compelling than that. There needs to be a grand central reason that is your why, your reason for beating the challenge, your reason for facing up to the pressures. There's got to be something more important that is your why. And these are our goals and dreams, the things we're trying to achieve. Could be financial goals, could be housing goals, career goals, maybe it's goals for our health and fitness. We need to know our why, and we need to reconnect with our goals and dreams. This will help us to be a stronger, more compelling, more trustworthy, more reliable, more followable father. Number 6. Now, I can't stress this one strongly enough. It's very simple, but it's very profound. Get yourself a mentor. What is a mentor? A mentor is a person who either has walked the road that you're trying to walk already, or they are gifted and skilled in the road that you're walking on, or both. The point is, they are a person who's got the ability and the willingness to invest in your journey being successful. Very often in life, the best mentors are people who have been where we are currently walking. They can talk to us about lessons, failures, victories, how to avoid problems, how to avoid the pitfalls that are on the road that we're traveling. When we choose a mentor, we want to choose someone who is both skilled and gifted, but we also want to choose someone who we are convinced is invested in our best outcomes. There are a lot of people out there, online especially, who are touting themselves as coaches and mentors and similar phrases, but the truth is their primary motive is their own achievements or their own back pocket, trying to put cash in their pocket for their own benefit. Now, those things are not wrong, but they should be secondary. When we're choosing a mentor, we want to choose someone who we firmly believe is invested in our success purely because they want us to experience successful outcomes. This could be a family member, could be a work colleague, could be a friend that you need to reconnect with. It could be someone that comes as a recommendation or a referral to you. The point is, having a mentor is like the context of being in a sporting team when you have a coach, someone who can look at what you're doing and have permission to say, can I adjust you? Can I offer you some new thoughts? Can I propose to you a new way of doing things? Remember, if that person is invested in our success and they are gifted in the ability to impart wisdom and impart lessons, we can exponentially increase our growth and get closer more quickly to the goal of being a great father. Go ahead, give it a try, get yourself a mentor. Number 7, and our final point in today's episode of what it's about to be a strong father and how to help raise strong fathers, I want to urge you to get connected and invest in your physical health and fitness. One of the greatest things that any man can do is to get involved in some kind of exercise and training program to strengthen not just the physical muscles of your body. Obviously, there are great benefits to that. Better health, better well-being, better sleep, better chemical balance, better mood, less irritability, less frustration. All of these benefits are true and obvious, but also one of the reasons why I'm a huge advocate for investing in your physical health and fitness is because it will do wonders for your mental muscles. Not only will you push away from you anxiety and depression and discouragement and all of those flat feelings that try to weigh you down, you will definitely push those away. Endorphins will do their work on the inside of you, but I'm talking more about the psychology of your manhood. That down deep on the inside, there is an innate desire, something that's born in your DNA, which is the desire to conquer and overcome a challenge. As a matter of fact, you need to know, maybe you're hearing it for the first time today, you need to know that as a man, you were born for overcoming challenges. And one of the greatest contexts that we get to experience this in is getting physically fit and healthy. It could be running, riding, swimming, CrossFit, joining a sporting team, walking, whatever it is. It doesn't overly matter the nature of the activity. What does matter is Get engaged with it, get the physical benefits, and begin to stretch yourself to achieve more and more in regards to your physical health and fitness. It will do wonders in the psychology of your manhood, where you start to realize, I can face my giants, I can take them on, I can get involved with what I would call the mongrel muscle, that determination on the inside, where you begin to realize, actually, I've got what it takes to overcome. I've been able to coach not just hundreds, but thousands of people in my time about this mongrel muscle, as I like to phrase it, that actually you can use the context of physical health and fitness and the benefits derived in your psychology. This can be used not just for the physical benefit, not just for the psychological benefit, but it becomes an incredible realm of simulation in your life. In other words, as you start to get fitter and stronger, and you start to get brave and courageous and contemplate maybe doing a 10K fun run, or a half marathon, or a marathon, or something longer and crazier, or a big swim, or a group bike ride, whatever the actual event and activity is, you get the opportunity through that context to simulate building the internal muscles in your soul that learn how to take on a challenge and overcome. I have discovered that you can develop these incredibly powerful muscles in your mind and in your emotions and in your soul in the context of physical fitness, and then bring those same muscles back to the game of your pressures, paying your bills, dealing with family complications, overcoming relationship issues, dealing with the boss at work, growing your business. I have discovered it's the same set of internal muscles that are used in physical fitness that also get used in all of the other challenges of our life. Now, what an opportunity. What an invitation there is for us right there to engage with the power of simulation, build the internal muscles we need, and suddenly realize we do have what it takes to overcome all of the stuff that's trying to follow us around and torment us and aggravate us on a daily basis. You do have what it takes to become a great dad. If you're coaching someone who is a young dad or a father-to-be, you've got what it takes to pass wisdom on to them, so that collectively we do our best to lift the waterline of what it means to be a great father in all of our communities, and then the generations that follow us are going to thank us that we made these commitments and we took the step to become the circuit breaker in our own family tree and become more followable than ever. Hey guys, I really hope you enjoyed that episode today talking about raising strong fathers. I'll tell you what, I'd love you to do a couple of things. I'd love you to subscribe to the channel if you haven't done already, and maybe leave me a comment. What did you hear? What did you enjoy? What would you like to hear more about? And then if you'd like to take a deeper dive, I'd love you to check out this video that I've put up just here next to me. This goes far deeper into the subject matter of raising strong sons. And these two episodes are paired beautifully together. They're going to lift the level of your fathering and your sonship to a place that you only ever dreamed was possible. Thanks for tuning in. I love that you took the time. See you in the next episode.